Hi, welcome to my channel Anime Sorzilla. Today we're going to recap Heavenly Delusion, a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Masakazu Ishiguro. Let's start the anime recap. Let's start with synopsis. A boy grows up behind the safe walls of an apocalyptic Japan full of monsters. Tokyo flourishes as a paradise, while outside the walls of hell dangers lurk. However, a small group searches for heaven. Recap time. An endless wall divides the world into two parts. The walled part is called heaven, where people live a happy and peaceful life, while the outside part is called hell, which is already in ruins and countless hideous monsters would come out to hunt humans late at night. Here, humans even slaughter each other in order to survive. The story begins inside the wall, where a girl named Mimihime tells a boy named Tokyo that there will be a school exam today. He doesn't believe her words because usually the school will notify them in advance of the exam. Unexpectedly, the next moment the school notifies that a temporary exam will be held. During the exam, Tokyo sees a strange question on the screen. It says, "You want to go outside?" The question flashes by, and Tokyo thought he misread it. As the exam is over, Tokyo wonders how Mimihime knew the exam time in advance, and she indicates that it was just her premonition. Tokyo then tells her about the weird question he saw in the exam. Hearing it, Mimihime takes Tokyo to the wall, saying that she has been having a hunch that there is another world outside the wall. Recently, when she thinks about it, two figures will appear in her mind, with one of them looking exactly like Tokyo. Tokyo grew up here, and he takes the walled area as the whole world. But after listening to what Mimihime said, he falls into deep thought and even suffers insomnia at night, so he comes to the wall again, only to be found by the principal. Tokyo asks the question out of curiosity, there really another world outside the wall. The principal thinks that Tokyo will know the truth sooner or later. So she tells Tokyo that there is indeed a world outside the wall, but it's just a filthy world with many ugly monsters. The scene then switches to the outside world. 15 years ago, an unprecedented catastrophe hit the world, leaving it devastated. A pair of siblings walk through the street. The older sister is named Kiruko, and the younger brother is named Maru. From their conversation, we know that they are looking for, but they don't know where it is exactly. Surprisingly, the brother Maru looks very similar to Tokyo. The siblings haven't eaten for days, so when they find a house with a well-locked door, they expect to find some supplies inside. Sure enough, they found complete toilet paper after entering the house through the window, and Kiruko happily pulls the weeds off the toilet. She has not used the toilet for a long time. It's just that the bathroom door is broken, so Maru accidentally sees Kiruko on the toilet, which makes her angry. The two then continue to explore the house, hoping to find some food, only to see skeletons of a couple who died with their hands clasped. It seems the two were starving to death, which means there is no food in the house. Fortunately, they soon find some cans in another house, and although Kiruko is good at cooking, they get something into their stomach. The next day, not long after setting out, they encounter a group of ruffians. In a world without legal restrictions, girls will be very miserable if they are caught by them. Maru immediately fights with these ruffians, and it can be seen that he is skilled and agile, as the several ruffians are no match for him. Just then, Kiruko takes out a special pistol and fires a laser beam, which directly melts the telegraph pole on the side. Seeing this, the ruffians immediately raise their hands in surrender. Kiruko inquires about heaven, from them getting to know about a place full of tomatoes, which is called heaven, by tomato lovers, and Kiruko decides to visit that place. Then Kiruko threatens the ruffians to hand over a battery, and when they see Kiruko put the battery into the bottom of the pistol, they realize the pistol just had the energy replenished. Though angry, they can only watch Kiruko and Maru leave. On their way, Kiruko and Maru talk about their age. Maru says he is 15 years old, while Kiruko isn't sure about her age, just saying she is around 20. Soon after, they stumble upon a hotel still in operation. In a collapsed world, money is useless. so Kiruko gives some batteries to the hostess to show gratitude for her taking them in. Kiruko then asks if the hostess has any information about heaven, along with showing a picture of two men hoping to know their whereabouts, as the two men are important to Kiruko. However, the hostess knows nothing about the men or heaven. Kiruko is not disappointed about the answer, just taking Maru into the room, and they are finally able to take a hot bath. Strangely, when Kiruko sees herself naked, body full of scars in the mirror, she looks a bit shy. Later in the chat with the hostess, they learn that there will be dangerous monsters appearing at night. Instead of being scared, Kiruko shows some excitement, saying that she has a special pistol that can shoot monsters, only to see a sudden, gloomy expression on the hostess' face. But soon she returns to normal and prepares dinner for them. During the meal, the hostess reminds Maru and Kiruko that it is not a good thing for siblings to have a child. The two immediately blush, and Kiruko quickly explains that she and Maru are not siblings, let alone she has no interest in him, and that she is just a bodyguard Maru hired in Tokyo. As the misunderstanding is cleared up, Kiruko and Maru go back to their room to rest. Maru is a little upset to know Kiruko doesn't have an interest in him. It seems he has a crush on Kiruko. Seeing how Maru reacts to what she said, Kiruko tries to comfort him only to fall into a coma before she can say a word. It turns out that the hostess has added a lot of sleeping pills to the food they ate. Meanwhile, we see the hostess pick up a shotgun, and a terrifying, giant, strange bird flies toward the hotel. When Kiruko finally wakes up, she finds a man-eating monster outside the window, and she quickly awakens Maru. The two walk out of the room with weapons and drink some water to dilute the sleeping pills in their bodies. Just then, the hostess discovers them, asking them to go back. Kiruko guesses that the hostess was trying to keep them away from the monster, so she added the sleeping pills to their food. At this moment, the giant bird shows up again. Kiruko and Maru quickly chase after it. This huge monster looks very terrifying. It has no head but a very sharp whip that can easily cut through a human body. Experienced in combat, Kiruko and Maru soon keep the monster at disadvantage just as Kiruko is about to give it a fatal shot. The hostess blocks the way and shouts, "This is my child." And it turns out that the monster ate the son of the hostess not long ago, and she thought since her son had entered the bird's body, the bird is her son now. She tells Kiruko and Maru that the strange bird will not harm her, and even helped her drive away other monsters not long ago. Just when Kiruko believes what the hostess said and puts down her weapon, the monster directly cuts off the hostess with its whip and then eats her. This scene enrages the two. Maru wipes Kiruko's tears and then rushes to the monster using all his strength to penetrate his arm into its body, directly crumbing its heart. It seems that Maru has the power unimaginable to ordinary people. As the battle ends, Kiruko and Maru continue on their way early the next morning. They lament that maybe the hostess was telling the truth. The monster indeed inherited her son's personality in the beginning and protected her several times. It's just that it is a monster after all, and in the end, it would still hunt and eat people everywhere, with the humanity destroyed. Otherwise, the world would not fall into such a terrifying situation. They don't feel like discussing this topic while just following the clues given by the ruffians to find heaven. After a long journey, they discover a farmland, which they speculate to be the heaven full of tomatoes. Just then, Kiruko asks Maru what his purpose is in going to heaven. Maru takes out a bottle, and according to him, someone asked him to go to heaven to find the one who looks exactly like him. To find the one who looks exactly like him, and then inject the medicine in the bottle into his body so that he can save many people. Hearing this, Kiruko is caught in a memory where a severely injured woman begged her to escort Maru to heaven. They are then discovered by the nearby farmers who treat them warmly as children. From the locals, they get to know that after the catastrophe, villagers here rebuilt their homeland, first planting a lot of tomatoes and later other crops. Perhaps that outms why it was called the Heaven of Tomatoes. As villagers here never show any surprise when they see Maru, Kiruko believes their OTM Is nobody looking like him thus? It is not the heaven Maru is looking for. Figuring it out, the two are a little frustrated. Suddenly, Maru sees a box with a mark on it, and the mark appears to be the same as the one on Kuruko's pistol. They then speculate that the special pistol should not be a product of this world, but may be related to the mysterious heaven. The two wonder how the box came about, but the villager only knows it was used to hold supplies when trading with Tokyo. As they can't find a clue to heaven, they decide to go back to Tokyo by sea. On the boat, Maru laments that since heaven cannot be found at all, he would like to farm with Kuruko for the rest of his life. Maru then plucks up the courage to confess his feelings to Kuruko and kisses her. Kuruko struggles to push Maru away, and she then reveals her secret to Maru seriously. Although her body is a woman, her brain belongs to a man. So she is a man indeed. Her words seem to be unbelievable. But it is the truth that brings the end. Here the all 13 episodes of Heavenly Delusion ends, hoping for the production to make the script for second season. If you liked the video, please give the video a thumbs up. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, Anime Sorzilla. Press the bell icon so you stay tuned with me for exciting recaps.